Hey guys, welcome to a new video about Russian fishing for in English. It is somewhat of a beautiful day. We got some birds soaring and we got a bit of clouds, but the sky's getting more blue and blue. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about a skill tree. Skill tree is one of the most important things in game because it helps you to progress, it helps you to become better. So for those of you guys that miss the first couple of videos, when you start playing this game, you start out as an angler that is really enthusiastic about his new hobby, but has never casted out a line, let alone has caught a fish. So that is where you start with. You got zero skills. Nothing, nada, nopas. Your casting out is horrible. You cannot control a reel properly, let alone control a fish, make it swim towards where you want it to be. You got no knowledge whatsoever about rigs, and you need to increase that. So every time you level up, from level 1 to level 20, you get 1 skill point. From level 20 to level 30, you get 2 skill points per level. And from level 30 to level 40, you get 3 skill points per level. That is currently what is going on. So every time you level up, you get skill points. And the skill points you use into a skill tree. Now, before you start putting any points in anything, go think for yourself what type of fisherman, what type of main fishing would you like to do. Is that float fishing, is that spin fishing, or is that bottom fishing? Because the thing that you're gonna be doing the most is the one that you want to level up first. So it's very wise to consider what you want to do. Now, if you by accident say you said I want to do spin fishing, but after 2 levels you find I'm more into feeder fishing or bottom fishing, you can reset all your skill points. So the entire 6 skill trees you can reset it by hitting this button. Having that set, it is only a one-time free usage. If you've hit the reset button and you start putting points into something and later regret it, you can still turn it back. But only per skill tree can you do it. So only for float fishing, for instance, or only for spin fishing. And it is going to cost you 5 gold. Gold is the premium currency of our game. So if you want to do that, it is going to cost you real money, so to say. So be really careful where you're going to put your skill points in. So, once you've decided what type of fisherman you want to be, float fishing, spin fishing, or bottom fishing, then you open up that tree. Now, these 3 last ones, leave them be for the time being, especially when you're just starting out. These become interesting once you're, like, say, level 20, not before that. Up until, say, level 20, that's just my personal advice. If you're level 15 and you think, I want to do some points in harvesting baits, by all means, go ahead. But at the first couple of levels, just focus on these 3 and then choose which one you want to do the most. Once you've done that, for my case, it's going to be float fishing at first. Then you open up that skill tree, then you go, look, okay, what do we have here? So first up, you see that we've got 2 unlocked, fishing with a telescopic rod and using a rig with a fixed line, and the rest of the things have a lock on it. These will only unlock when we got our float fishing at a certain percentage, and that goes for spin fishing and it goes for feeder fishing as well. So using of a hair rig will only unlock when we have our float fishing at 25%, currently we are at 2%. Using of a spinning reel will only unlock at 30%, and that is the using of a spinning reel for float fishing. That does not mean using of a spinning reel for spin fishing or for bottom fishing, it's for float fishing. Fishing with a Bolognese rod, which is the first sort of match rod that you have for float fishing, unlocks at 30%, not earlier. So first up, your first couple of points, I would advise you guys to put it in the rod. Whether it's the telescopic rod or the spin fishing rod or feeder rod, put it in the rod. The reason for it is every time you put a point in it, your casting distance and accuracy increase by 5%, and the control of the fish is increased by 3%, meaning that if you're fighting a fish, you got more control of it, got more chances of landing it, And obviously casting out further and with a better aiming obviously is much better than you casting out and your float ending up or your lure ending up in a tree or bushes or in between lily pads where you did not want to have it. So put your first couple of points into the usage of a rod. For those of you that use spinning and feeder, also put a couple of points in usage of a spinning reel. At first, that is where you need to put your points in. So for spin fishing, it's using spinning reel and usage of spinning rod. Don't put points in the spoons and spinner baits just yet. And for bottom fishing, it's using a spinning reel and a feeder rod. And just leave this one be. Now, as you progress, you'll unlock. So here at 30%, you'll unlock a Bolognese rod. Now, the sweet thing is you do not need to put points anymore in the Bolognese rod. It's actually the points that you put in a telescopic rod will transfer into the Bolognese rod. And the same goes for the points that you put in the telescopic rod and the Bolognese rod. They will actually transfer also into the match rod. So once this one opens up at 30% and you got 7 points in that one, this will automatically have 7 points in that one as well. And that too goes for spin fishing. So you got a spinning rod. The moment that you open up a casting rod, these points on the spinning rod will automatically be transferred into the casting rod. And that as well goes for, let's see, I believe here it was with the rigs, if I am, no, here it is. Fishing with a feeder rod, the points that you put in here will automatically transfer also in fishing with a carp rod. Once you've unlocked this one at 90%. Another good thing to know is that usage of a spinning reel, the points you put in here is actually transferable to also for spin fishing and for float fishing. So even though I have this one only unlocked at 30% for float fishing, if I were to put a point here in this one on using a spinning reel with spin fishing, the point that I put in here will also show up with here, float fishing. But that is a good thing to realize and to know, that you do not have to put all points in every piece of cake that you got out here. Some points will be transferable and will be automatically put into skills that you'll unlock at later on, and you got the percentage up. How do you get your percentage up? Go fish. So if you want to increase your float fishing percentage, fish with a float fishing method. If you want to increase your spin fishing, fish with a spinning reel, fish with a spinning rod. If you want to increase bottom fishing, go and use that feeder rod. That is how you increase. Every time that you catch a fish, you will get an increase in skill points. At some point, the increase of the skill points will dwindle. So at first you get, for every fish you get 0.2%. Then you'll start catching just 0.1%, and then there will be times where you get no skill point percentages. That has to do with the reason that you've already caught a whole lot of the same species over and over again. And the game actually wants you to broaden your horizon, and instead of just focusing on, say, common carp, also like you guys to fish for bream. Now, if you were to completely only keep focusing on common carp, your skill is not going to get up as fast as if you were to switch to a different fish species. Another thing is the weight of the fish. If you got a whole lot of, say, 1 kilogram fish, then say you got 1 kilogram fish, then fish number 101 of 1 kilogram, it's gonna give you less skill point experience. Now, if you were to catch a fish of, say, 0.8 kilograms or of 1.2 kilograms, that fish is sort of new because you have not caught as many of them. That is the whole reasoning and the whole method how the increase of percentages works. So if you notice that your skill percentages are dwindling, try targeting different fish, try targeting bigger fish or smaller fish, and then after some time you'll see that you got your skill points again. It does not mean that, say, with the common carp reference, that once you move to bream and then you start catching common carp, that you'll not get any more skill points for the common carp again. You will. It's just that we'd like you guys to, like I said, broaden your horizon, not focus on just one specific species of fish for the entire time that you're playing the game. We want you guys to broaden your horizon, catch multiple species of fish, and that way maybe sort of step out of your comfort zone, but also enjoy that and enjoy the different fights that fish species will give you, because there are different fighting methods, and also sort of develop your you as a fisherman. Okay, so I hope that this has helped you out a bit. Now, one more thing that I forgot, the rigs. The moment that you reach the skill percentage, it's not that you do need to put a point in it for it to unlock. It will already unlock. You'll already be able to, for in this instance, use an inline rig. It's just if you put a point in it, then you will increase it. So here we got simple bottom rig. So we can already use it even though we not put a point in it, but if we were to put a point in it, then we would increase the technique of fishing with the rig by 5%. And as we increase this, we'll also increase the chance of catching the probability of fish, and at sometimes you also have an increase of catching trophy fish. So that is how putting points in different rigs work. Okay, guys, that was a whole bit of information right there about a skill tree. Like I said, I've left these out a bit because this is what you'll focus on when you're like a high level. You feel like you've already unlocked all or nearly everything in terms of the fishing methods. Then you can focus on stuff like baits. Now here it goes for baits is that you can already harvest worms and red worms and craft web bread, and it will just unlock here also. So at 20% you'll have, even though you did not put a point in it, you'll already have the ability to craft pearl barley porridge. If you are to put a point in it, you'll actually increase, here it's the harvesting of red worms. And if you put points in, say, one type of dough, it will transfer over the other types of doughs. If you increase, if you put a point in worms, it will actually transfer into the different types of worms. So worms, red worms, and where's bloodworms? There we go, bloodworms. If you put points in larvae, those will also transfer into the other type of larvae and other type of insects. So again, you do not need to put every point in every piece of the pie, so to say. Some pies are transferable. And that goes for making ground bait mixes and level 3 components. That goes for that as well. And then here you got making lures. So if you put points in spoons, it will go in every type of spoon. If you put points in cranks, it will go in every crank, and so forth and so on. Okay, guys, I think that has covered everything about the skill tree. If you got any questions, instead of posting them below the video, I strongly advise you guys to go to the forums of Russian Fishing 4. It's rf4game.com/forum. I'll also leave the link below the video. There are plenty of players out there that already got a lot more experience that can help you out, and there is also a whole bunch of moderators that know the game inside out. They can help you out as well, in particular when you got like a very specific question and you need an answer to it, and you need an answer pretty soon. I'm not always in the ability to answer a question right away when you've posted it. So if you go to the forums, there are folks out there, they can help you straight up, and that can help you in continue your fishing journey here with Russian fishing. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Oh, one more thing. Premium will not help you unlock skills faster, and it will not help you become better faster. I know that in other games you have the opportunity, so if you put in like $20, or if you put in $50, or if you put in $100, you unlock like levels way more faster. You can unlock a certain type of gear really fast and stuff like that. That is not the case with this game. Here you can only level up and increase your skill by playing, like putting time in the game by catching fish. That is the only method and the only way that works. So if you think that you can sort of buy your way to the top and unlock things really fast, I'm afraid I've got to disappoint you. It's gonna save you money, that's for sure. But you cannot buy your way into this game and buy your way to the top. You need to put time in it. You need to just start, catch fish. That is the way that this game works. So please don't make the mistake of thinking, okay, if I put in 20 quid, I'll unlock fishing with a picking rod straight up. You don't. Okay guys, with that said, I'd like to wish you all a good day, and I hope to see you in another video again with Russian Fishing 4. Bye bye for now.